Okay, Steamroller, standard tuning, capable at the 3rd fret. This is one of those songs where you could definitely play a simple version of it with just the chords, or there's lots of cool little hammer-on things and stuff that you could get. So I'll just show you everything, but also how to play it more simply if you want to. Okay, so the first chord is G. You probably know this G, like 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. You can also play this chord without the 1st finger and just let the 2nd finger lean over a little bit and mute the 5th string, which is I think what I hear. So the very first thing I hear is this. So it's like an up and then a down, then another little up, and then this. So that's, open 5th string, then 1st finger down on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then simultaneously the 2nd finger grabs the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and the 1st finger hammers on the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and that's strummed. So like in slow motion. Open A, 2nd fret on the A, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, and then the 1st finger hammers on the 2nd finger. The 1st finger hammers on the 2nd fret of the 4th string at the same time that the 2nd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So together that's. And actually this is probably hammered on, I'm realizing as I play it. That's probably how I played it, right? So that's a hammer on from open to 2 on the 5th string, and then you do those together. So again, if you don't want to play that, you could just go, or even just, is nice. So this is just going from this G to this C. So this is like a C, add 9 or whatever. 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then 3rd and 4th still where they were. This is one of those songs where these fingers are here almost the whole time. 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So you could play this in other words. That sort of strum, down, up, down, up, down, down. That's a good place to start with the strumming. Da, 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 da. And then it often does that. Some more active. So it's like, so that whole strumming pattern together. Da, 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 da. Something like that. One more time, even slower. Something like that. Down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. As always with strumming, I say, find something that works for you that fits into that basic pattern, right? When it goes to the C, it often continues to hammer on that 1st finger. It does it a little differently. So in the intro, so it's like 3 more times of hammering it on. Basically at the beginning of the first down of each of those. Down, down, down. And then the second time, there it's hammer on, and then instead of hammering it on the next down, it just picks it up and then finishes the chord with the open D like that. In the verse, you go from the G to the C. No, second. Down, up, down, up, down. when I go to the C, I'm leaving off the first finger at first and having open D. In this case, my second finger is not muting the fourth string, it's letting it ring. I do want to mute the sixth string, so like, there's different ways you can mute the sixth string. You can do it with your thumb. I'm kind of doing it with my second finger, letting it touch the sixth string. So, and now, hammer on the first finger to the second fret on the fourth string, and then you do that, and then you pick it back up and have the open D again. So the whole C part is like this. With the G, it's like this. So you see how that works with the strumming? And it helps to sort of get the little melody of it. Down, down, down. Like happens on it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 on beat 1, 1, 2, and then it's kind of like the and of 2 when it picks back up. So however you need to think about it, that's what happened in the verse. That's the whole verse, and the first verse is a double verse and the second verse is just once, and then the chorus starts with this chord. It's an A minor 7, first finger on the first fret of the second string, second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, pinky on the third fret of the first string, no low E. And then this pretty chord, which is kind of like a C moved up, this kind of C moved up here, which makes it like a D, but it's got this G in it, so it's like a D add 4. So first finger on the third fret of the second string, second finger on the fourth fret. This is all relative to the capo, of course. Fourth fret of the fourth string, third finger on the fifth fret of the sixth string, and pinky on the fifth fret of the fifth string. I don't really I hear this a little bit. It works, that note, so it's okay if you have it in there. I tried to kind of avoid it. I did my trick where I bring my pinky around to, you know, second time you go to this second finger gets hammered on at some point. It's kind of a cool thing. Totally not necessary. On beat 1. So in other words, you're on that chord for 2 bars, and on the beginning of the second bar, this is the second time, so it does A minor 7 for a bar, D add 4 for a bar, A minor 7 for a bar, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's 2 bars on this, and the second bar is when I do this. So my second finger is picking up and then hammering back on to the fourth fret of the fourth string. The strumming pattern, you know, maybe gets more active here, like, you know, down, 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 down. You know, find something, find that, you know, find the tick, 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 tick. I call this part the pre-chorus, right? This is the pre-chorus, because then that leads into the chorus. So in the beginning of the chorus, you go between C and G a couple times. When you do the C, again, this is like optional. You could do C with open D if you want. Just play it like this, from C to G. You could play it with the first finger on the second fret of the fourth string, and then go to G with the first finger on the second fret of the A string, so then it becomes this. The way that I think it sounds is like this. So in other words, it's every time it goes to the C, it's hammering the first finger on to the second fret on the fourth string first. And then it's going to the G. I don't remember if I listened for it, whether I hear that note. So it could be either that G I was telling you about before where you mute the fifth string, or it could be with the first finger there. So works, or this. D sus4. So that was however many times, 3 times. And third time. And now C to D sus4. So first finger on the second fret of the third string, third finger on the third fret of the second string, and pinky on the third fret of the first string. And this has another little hammer on of the first finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, like totally optional. Okay, and then so it's going to go C to G again, and then C to E minor 7. First finger on the second fret of the fifth string, second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, third finger on the third fret of the second string, and pinky on the third fret of the first string, as always. And this goes into this little rhythm. It goes along with the needs you, right? Also on the part of me before that, it's a little the rhythm gets a little different because it's like part of me, you know, part of me. It kind of starts to go with the vocal a little more, right? Like part of me. And then it goes into a C thing. It's a lot like in the intro where it does this more times. You know, so back to C, but hammer that on a couple times. So I won't fall, C to D, sus4, back to G. So the first chorus does this, and then goes right back into the riff thing. The second chorus then repeats the chorus. I won't fall unless you ask me. You know, and then after the repeat, unless you ask me to. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'll make a quick little chord. I'll sketch out a little chord chart, and I'll put a link in the description so you can have something to follow along with. But I hope that made sense otherwise. And thanks for watching.